Welcome to another episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I'm your host, WIZE. And I know a lot of us now have been using LinkedIn to try to grow our business and everything, and following every piece of advice from all these so-called gurus. My next guest is actually a seasoned LinkedIn expert, and I'm excited to bring her on. So welcome to the show, Naomi Rose Everly.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Completely different time zone to you, but I'm good.
Yes. So let's just jump right into it. What inspired you to focus on LinkedIn as a platform for business growth and client acquisition?
Yeah, well, I've been on LinkedIn now for 15 years, and it was about 2008 it started to change in terms of it was a CV-based platform, wasn't it, in place to get jobs. And then it started to change between 2008 to 2012, where it kind of really started to become a client acquisition platform. Things started to change. We've just seen it evolve ever since. And I actually started my business in 2015, having been selling LinkedIn training for 2 years as part of a small business. We were selling to lots of individuals who were experts in their subject, key persons of influence. We were also in partnership with LinkedIn as well. So the guy who founded the company had a book called How to Really Use LinkedIn. And he actually gave copies. Every single new employee that started at LinkedIn was given a copy of this book. So we were in partnership with LinkedIn. And then they wanted us to go much more down the corporate route. So they did that. And I went, you know what? There's a missing trick here with the LinkedIn profile in small businesses. And so I decided that that was what I was going to focus on, because it really is the platform to be out of all of the platforms.
Yeah, no, I've seen just even with me being on it in the last couple of years, some of the relationships and networking I've been able to do through LinkedIn have been some amazing networks.
Yeah.
So I actually see the value of learning how to really grow your business using LinkedIn, because it's a platform that really hasn't been tapped into its potential, and it's great to have someone like you to show them the way.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I focus on more than anything is the profile, because the rest of it's going to keep on changing. The algorithm is going to keep changing with LinkedIn now making AI, it likes it, but it doesn't like it. Do you know what I mean? So the algorithm, you're always going to be dependent on whatever it's doing and whatever they decide. And there's going to be different features here and there. But the main thing, and this is the thing that even LinkedIn themselves seem to miss, is that it's the LinkedIn profile that's most important. Because unlike any other social media platform, you don't get to say that much stuff about yourself. I
No.
mean, Instagram, you've got a tiny bit to put something in. Facebook, there's like the about section, and that's not very much at all. Whereas on LinkedIn, you really get to have a conversation. You really get to pitch what you do. You really get to draw people into your world and to demonstrate how you know what you know, because you've got your whole CV there as well. And it's a really important piece of your marketing assets, because anyone Googles your name, you're gonna come up in the search engine, and your LinkedIn profile is, because LinkedIn's such an authority site. Your LinkedIn profile will be part of that mix and probably come up higher than your own website.
Wow.
Mm.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. If someone puts your name in, LinkedIn is definitely coming up. And so, yeah, people are going to look at it. They're going to see who you connected to. What have you been posting lately? Are you still active out there? What are your agendas? They're going to look at that, and then they're going to come to your profile, and very quickly they're going to decide this person's active on this platform, or they're not active on it, or they are active on it, but they are a shambles, because your profile's a mess and you're not really using it. And I think a lot of people don't really look at it as well as a tool to actually convert clients. This is something that not only does it enhance the journey that you've already been on with people in terms of warming them up as a lead, whether that's through other online activities, whether that's face-to-face meeting them, or it's a referral, or whether it's them looking at your content and coming through. This is your chance to have a conversation. And people have got two questions on their minds. How is this relevant to me? And is this a good use of my time? And if the original, when they look at it, it just looks like a CV or poorly put together, they're going to go, this isn't relevant to me. If the subject not relevant to you because you're not doing anything with it, so why would I spend time reading something you haven't put the care into? And then, is this relevant to me in terms of a problem I need to solve in my business right now? Am I aware that I have this problem? Do I need to solve this problem? Or do I need to put time into this problem? Does this sound like something that I need to be paying attention to? And the next question is, do I have time for this today? Is it always because everything, barely anyone ever comes to your LinkedIn profile determined to find you today, you know? And you can be sure if they came looking for you, they're gonna scrutinize it and get an impression of you. But if they came from any other source, the piece of content, a comment you've made on somebody else's profile, you know, content, they go, "Oh, that's an interesting person." And they come through, they're going, "Is this really an interesting person? Should I be listening to what this person's saying right now?" And you want to be able to answer yes to all of those things. And the crazy thing is on LinkedIn is it's not your ideal clients that the ones that you've actually gone looking for that will find you. It's actually the ones that have never heard of you before, that you can post something and it'll be someone comments on it, and because they've commented on it, it will come up in a feed of someone you do not know, and that could be your ideal client. If you comment on somebody else's content and they go, that's a well thought through comment and they obviously know what they're talking about, I'll click through and look at their profile and let me see who they are, because they sound interesting and it could be relevant to me. That's your chance to start a conversation right there and to make an impression. So you want your profile to really line up and say, this is what I do and how I do it.
Okay. So you emphasize winning paid business over gaining followers on LinkedIn. Can you explain why this distinction is so important?
Yeah. So everything we are doing, when you come back to, I ask people, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you want? And they go, oh, I want more followers. Yeah, but why? And it always comes back to, you are in business. You are here to win clients. You are here to do the transformational work that you were put on the earth to do. The reason why you set up this business in the first place, majority of people did not set up a marketing business. So if you're a marketing company and you're getting leads for your clients, then brilliant, you're doing the right thing. But if you are somebody in business selling your expertise, a follower means very little. Actually, it's about winning the business. And if you're fully booked in your business and you've got everything that you need, why do marketing? Yes, there is an answer of why, yes, we should do it. But it does, we're not just there for the sake of being there. We are actually there because we're there to do business. We're there to actually deliver transformational results for our clients and get better at it. And we are there to make a living as well. So getting followers, getting new connections, getting content to be engaged with, that's all on the pathway to winning new clients. And I would beg the question, what's anyone doing if that's not actually their ultimate goal when they look at it?
So how can entrepreneurs create a profile that attracts to pre-sold clients rather than just followers?
Yeah, so one of the main things to think about with your LinkedIn profile is, what is the outcome I'm going for? So my ultimate outcome is to win new clients. Well, how do I get clients? I speak to them. In the majority of cases, I need to speak to that person to make the sale. Either because it's an in-depth product and I need to know and I'm going to work with this person. I need to know that I can actually help. Or because it's a high ticket item that people just need to speak to you over. If it is buying online, then you really do have more of a consumer business, business to consumer, which is, have a shopping cart, that's fine. But for what we're really talking about here, we're talking about services that need a conversation. So what that means is we're going to get our prospect on a call, on Zoom. We're going to meet with them face to face, whichever way, and we're going to talk to them about, what's your problem? What's going on for you right now? What's going on in your life and your business? And then be able to pitch them at the end of that and say, look, this is how I can help you. This is how much it's going to cost. Would you like to work with me? Yeah. So if we're going to have that conversation and we're going to be able to pitch at the end of it, then we need to have an initial call we've invited people along to, where we can actually be in control of the conversation and set it up at the beginning. Hey, I'm going to ask you all of these questions. This is what's to expect in this conversation. This is what I'm going to do. And if there's a good fit between us, at the end, I'm really happy to tell you how I can work with you. No obligation, right? So that is the conversation that you must have in order to get a sale. A lot of people actually ignore that bit and they don't think about that conversation and how important it is. Now, if you're going to be in control of that conversation and lead somebody through a journey like that where they can make a buying decision, they need to know that they're in a conversation that will require a decision at the end. They need to know that they're in a buying conversation, not in just a general chit chat or some free advice. So it's about working it all backwards. So this is what I call a sales diagnostic. So the call itself is a diagnostic. It is a sales call, but nobody actually signs up for a sales call. I mean, when was the last time you said, hey, I'm going to go on this sales call and get sold to today? You don't. You go on a call of discovery to find out what you need, how you need it, and how much of it you need. So when you draw that back, if a person isn't going to come on a sales call, but you're going to ask them lots of questions, that is a diagnostic. And you can wrap that up in a way that's so valuable to people. They're like, yeah, I want to come to that. I want to find out to what extent do I have this problem? What extent do I need this solution? And how much is it going to cost? And would working with you be the right person? So to be in the mindset to actually come to that call, we want to call that a diagnostic. We want to give it a name. I offer a LinkedIn profile and strategy review. It's 45 minutes. It's on Zoom. I will look at your profile, learn all about your business and give you some really tailored advice, and also look at the whole business structure and your strategy. And then I will tell you whether I can help you or not, or you can take that information away and do it yourself. So it's a really attractive proposition. The time you spend with me, I'm going to be able to move you from where you are now to where you need to get to. Where you are now is confused, not knowing whether to buy or what to buy. And where I'm going to get you to is a signpost. Work with me and I can do all of this for you because you need it. Or, hey, I don't think this is right for you right now, but I can see where you're up to, and these are my recommendations, and I can put you in touch with some people that can work with you. So you are moving a person from confusion to a really strong signpost. That's a really, really valuable proposition to anybody who's struggling. So what we want to do is we want to come up with what that is for us. What is that in our business? Now, when you've decided what your call to action is going to be, we can work the whole thing backwards. Now, I have a diagram that actually reflects the psychology of sales. And it's a circular diagram, and there's a point on it where it's the sales, the bit where the person signs the dotted line. Then they go through the transformational journey with you. You say, yeah, we did what we set out to do. Brilliant. And then we go through the process of getting a case study and a testimonial. That's all on one side. The other side is how you win the clients in the first place. So I think of it like a clock. If sale comes in at 6 o'clock, 4 p.m. Is where you have the sales appointment. To get someone to sign up to that sales appointment, we need them to be interested in your services. What a lot of people do is they focus on SEO and keywords, all of that stuff. And what they're forgetting is that the only person that knows that they have a problem and are looking for a solution is somebody who's well educated in the problem to the point they actually know what keywords to look for. Forgetting the fact that actually most of your clients have no idea they have a problem and are definitely not educated enough about their problem to know they need a solution. If I have a burst pipe, I need a plumber.
Yeah.
If I have a problem with my car, I need a mechanic. That is really obvious. We all know that. So therefore, mechanics and plumbers can use keywords. But when we're selling a service which is unheard of, which is really, really niche, which is solving a very specific problem for people, there isn't that automatic connection. They don't have the words. They don't know what to look for because they're not actually looking for it at all. So on the diagram at 12 o'clock, so if people are listening and they want to draw this, you can do a circle, put 6 o'clock at the bottom, put sale, 4 o'clock sales appointment, and 12 o'clock create awareness. And the create awareness is where LinkedIn really comes into play. Because if I'm not able to use keywords and to find you, and I'm not able to Google and find you because I just don't know those words and don't have a problem, that whole medium is not going to work for me. What is going to work is overhearing different things going on and going, oh, I had that problem. What was that you're saying? What's this? So a LinkedIn feed and all the content coming up is our ability to interrupt people's day and have them go, oh my goodness, that's interesting. That sounds like me. That sounds like something I'm concerned with. So when we talk about the symptoms of a problem, people go, I have that symptom. Oh, I've experienced that. My staff keep leaving me. I have a really high turnover in employees. I just got accused of forgery or something, whatever it is, like what the problem is you solve. Think about the symptoms that your ideal clients are actually experiencing. What are the words that they're using? I'm falling out with my family all the time. My teenagers are an issue. Whatever it is. When you write posts that are to the symptoms of the problem, your ideal clients will go, that sounds like me. That's me. And they'll identify with it. So on the circle, we've got 12 o'clock, which is create awareness, 1 o'clock, which is identify. And then once they've identified with it, they'll start doing some research and they will diagnose their problem and they go, actually, this is me. This is what's going on for me. And then they'll say, well, what am I going to do to fix this? And these days we've got such an array of things we could choose. We could read a book, we could go on a YouTube video, we could do lots of different things. So people will go through a period of self-implementation where they're trying to implement for themselves a solution before they go, this problem is actually big and this problem is causing me a lot of problems. And actually, I would do really well to invest in a solution here. And that's when they get to the point of invest, which is at 3 o'clock. So we've got 12 o'clock, create awareness, 1 o'clock, identify, 2 o'clock, diagnose, and then 3 o'clock, invest. I'm going to invest in this. And when they say I'm going to invest in this, the question is, who am I going to invest with? If you've done all of the work with them to create that awareness and you built up that rapport with them, they actually aren't going anywhere else. They are going to work with you because you're the one that brought them to an awareness of the problem and understand them. And that is actually statistically proven that 78% of people who come to an awareness of a problem with you will stay with you and actually buy from you. So this leads people straight round to, who am I going to work with? Look, this is easy. I'll do a diagnostic call. I don't have to buy straight away. I'm going to have a good conversation here and they're going to tell me what I need. And that conversation is going to follow pretty much the same process. What's going on for you right now? What have you tried already? What does this mean to you? How much does it cost you if you don't solve this problem? And then obviously you can pitch to them, which is, you got them in the sales appointment at 4 o'clock and then at 6 o'clock, you've got the sale. So this is, when you're thinking about it from that perspective, we now need to write a LinkedIn profile that actually reflects that journey. So if you're sharing content on creating awareness and commenting on other people's stuff in a way that's relevant to you, and it's a topic where you can bring your expertise in, and you bring people to an awareness where they're like, oh, that's curious, and they come through. What we need to do is make sure immediately when they land on the profile that they know that this profile is the subject they thought they were coming for. Like, that's what it's about. So you need a good background banner that the banner instantly goes, yeah, okay, this person means business. This is the problem they're solving. We need a professional photo because that is the equivalent of being in a room with lots of people, looking across the room and going, oh, that person looks friendly. I think I'll go over and have a chat. Or that person looks like a dodgy drunk. I think I'll stay away. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we're doing when we have the profile photo. And we go over and we say, hi, what's your name? That's your name on your LinkedIn profile. What do you do? One line answer. That's your headline. Oh, that's so interesting. And now we're into the about section. We're into the first 4 lines of the about section. And this is where we bring people again to that awareness of the problem and the consequences of that problem if it's not fixed. So it's an opening sub paragraph and it's got to be about them. If it's about you and my career and what I do, why am I reading this? What's this got to do with me today? Why am I being interrupted by this complete stranger from somewhere in the world? Why do I want to talk to them? I'm not being rude, but I don't stop and talk to every single person I'll pass on the street. So we've got to make sure that first paragraph is about them and has them go, oh, what's this? This is interesting. This sounds like me. Then the next paragraph we want to confirm, and this is how I help as a psychotherapist, whatever you want it to be. I work with people who are struggling with but want this outcome. I want this outcome. Okay. And now I'm going to read the next bit. The reasons why people get stuck into trouble is because this, and this. Oh, okay. And then we learn a little bit more. And then really powerful things to say on a LinkedIn profile is, I believe, in my opinion, I've seen firsthand, because this whole about section is replicating having a conversation. So I've seen you across the room, I've come said hello, and now we're having a conversation. So the way you write your LinkedIn profile about section is to make sure it has that flow where the person wouldn't interrupt you. If you ask a straight up question, the person's going to go, oh, and try and answer you. So we want to kind of wrap the sentence around where the question has kind of been asked, the thought's gone in, but the person isn't trying to answer, because we don't want that interruption. And then we lead it round to the call to action, which is what I mapped out before, that diagnosis, that next step you want people to take, that if they're interested and they want to do this, that they can have a call with you. And you might put another step in there first. You might put a score app in there where people can answer questions first, get a self-diagnosis, a bit of information, a bit of help, and then you can select them for a call, or they can self-select themselves for a call. All of those the different things. And it is different per audience, and it's about making sure that it's natural to the audience. But this is how we write the LinkedIn section, the about section. And then my next thing is, well, what would working with you look like? Do I want to book a call with you? Because if I take half an hour of your time, and I can't imagine myself having one-to-one coaching or going through a massive change process with you, it's a bit of waste of time, really, isn't it, to have that conversation if I don't know what working with you is going to look like, or what you might offer me at the end of this conversation. So the current experience section on your LinkedIn profile is the perfect place to answer this. So what we want to do in the first paragraph is say, at company name, I work with individuals who, and be really, really clear, no ambiguity whatsoever. This is who I work with. Okay, cool, that's me. Right. And this is how I do it. And the best thing to do, and again, this is where a lot of the foundational work goes in, is that you need a product ecosystem that allows people to take steps with you. So if your whole transformational process is 60 grand, well, you're not going to get the sale, because nobody would spend 60 grand straight up. So let's sell them a £5,000 diagnosis. Then let's do a test project together where we can see for 3 to 6 months what working together is like. And then if that all goes well, we'll continue on, and the annual billing will be £60,000, and they'll be happy and you'll be happy. So we need to really map out our product system here. And actually, this is what we do on how we write it on LinkedIn. So you can say, here's how I help, and put in that big bells and whistles package, like, we're going to take you from here to there, and it's going to involve, really kind of like, wow, this is amazing. And this isn't listing the functions of what you do. Like, I offer 18 coaching sessions with a sales training course to go with it, and I offer this. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is create this picture of what working with you looks like, and how fun and good that can be. And also add some layers of education in there. So like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can see why we would do that. That's really useful. But like I said, no one is going to take that package off you straight away, because it's just too big. So then we would do the next one, which is a small consultation. Let's do it. It could be different for every business, but it goes this way. That you can do this kind of just let's find out what the terrain is. Let's find out what's going on. Let's do this deep dive diagnostic, so you can actually make some informed decisions, and you've got some data, and you know what it is. So people go, oh yeah, that sounds really good. Now that's an easier first step than the one before, because I like the one before, but I don't know you yet, and I'm not ready for that. So this one seems like, yeah, this is a good entry point. But then they take another step back and they go, yeah, but I still don't know you. I still don't know I have this problem, so I'm not sure. But then you offer them that free diagnostic call, which is the second place it shows up, because it's in your about section as well. So then in that there, we would say, book in for the strategy call, and we'll work out together. Good. Right. I can see myself doing that. Right. I'm going to book in. So the person books that diagnostic call with you. And if they were to say book it on a Monday, and they have got their appointment with you on the Thursday, what's really interesting is they now know what working with you is going to look like. They've got this clear idea in their mind that they've got a problem, and they're thinking about that problem. They're thinking about how it shows up in their life. They're thinking about what it's costing them. They're thinking about how they might go about solving it, who can help them solve it. Have they seen anything like this before? And quite a lot of those questions will be, I've never seen anything like this before, and I actually really need this. So then they're going to ask themselves, well, what would working with you look like? Could you be the answer? I'm excited. Could you be the answer for me? And they will talk themselves into working with you because they've seen your packages and what they include. I can see myself doing that $5,000 because, that would be really good. If we just had that data, if we just had that report, if we just knew this, that would be really good. And then if he did go on to help us, that would be amazing. And what they'll do is they'll start coming up with their own objections as to why not. Well, I don't know about putting budget into that right now. I don't know about putting time into that right now. I don't know if so-and-so would go along with it. They'll have all of their objections. Or what if I don't like you? What if I don't trust you? But they will start answering those questions for themselves because they've already got enough information and they've already taken this step. So when they come to the sales call, they're primed and ready to listen to you. They're ready to hear everything you've got to say. They're really, really receptive. And your pitch at the end is not going to come left field to them. They're going to go, yeah. No, that sounds great. Now I have this question. I have this question. This is great. Let's do it. So they'll be a lot more advanced than they would have been had they not have read your profile and managed to get that much information. And it does differ from reading it on your website, because how did they get to your website in the first place? They didn't know any keywords. They didn't come to your website. And on your website is probably talking in a business voice, whereas your LinkedIn profile is talking in a personal voice. I've had a conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, really powerful. And this can be happening 24/7 all over the globe for you all times, making every comment you make on LinkedIn, every post you put on LinkedIn, you can make all of it pay by having your profile set up in this way.
Okay, so instead of making it as a business, you make it more personal, where they actually get to kind of get to know you in the process before actually sitting down for a call or Zoom or whatever it is. You want to really have them think about, I kind of got to know this person just from reading their profile.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of space on the profile, so there's a lot to achieve.
Yeah.
But that's, so people should feel like they've met you from your profile, just in the way that you've written it. So it is a conversation. It is about your business. It's not about you. Your profile is never about you and I achieved this and I did that and I did this job. It's always, why am I writing this? What is in this for the reader? And how does this actually contribute more to their day and them thinking they might want to work with me and getting an idea of the problem that they're probably struggling with and need to solve.
Okay. That sounds wow. Because LinkedIn is even evolving with some of the stuff they're doing for content creators as well. Because now they're doing more live. You're doing this is going live on LinkedIn right now. Like I've been using it way more now than I have in the past few years, because to me Facebook is unless I pay for ads on Facebook, I don't feel I'm reaching anyone. Whereas on LinkedIn, I'm getting so much more impressions and people are really checking out my content more. And then that's without me having to spend on ad dollars. It's been much more fruitful for me on LinkedIn than actually using Facebook, because like I said, unless you're paying for Facebook ads, they're not pushing your content.
Yeah. And Facebook is really a business to consumer platform. You don't know who's there and why they're there and what their objective is. But on LinkedIn, it's this equivalent of showing up to a live networking event. We know we're here to talk about business. We're not here to talk about your puppy. We can, that might be nice, but if I approach you and start talking to you about business, it's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. That's the conversation we're having. I often refer to it like a we call it Center Parks here, but what would it be for you? Like a holiday park where everybody goes and there's a big swimming pool and maybe some game
Oh yeah,
things around you.
amusement park. Yeah,
Amusement park, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you could say Disneyland, actually. I was just thinking, well, when
yeah.
you stay at it, but you do stay at that one too, actually. If you saw your ideal client that you have sent a proposal to, and you're waiting to hear back from, if you saw him at Disneyland out with his children, you were out with your children, and you went, "Oh, hi," and you went over to each other, your natural conversation at Disneyland would be, "Oh, and this is my wife, and these are my children, and what are you doing today? And
Yeah.
oh, have you been on this ride yet? Oh my goodness, how many days are you here for? Oh, this is wonderful. Well, I'll see you back in the office." That would be respectful. That is Facebook. If you turned to that person and said, "Oh, by the way, what did you think of the proposal that I sent you?" In that environment, you've lost the business forever. He's like, "Whoa, that's pushy. This is my private time."
Yeah.
If you suddenly say to him, "Oh, by the way, did you read that recent book that Simon Sinek published?" He'd be like, "Yeah, I did actually. My kid's just running off over there. Do you mind?" He doesn't want to have that conversation with you because it's his family time. Whereas if you go to a business event, a business networking event, and you saw your ideal prospect, you could say to them straight up, "Oh, how are you doing? Oh, it's great to see you here. By the way, did you get that email I sent you?" "Oh, yeah, I did." "Yeah, cool. Do you want to have a chat about that?" Or, "Hey, I just had this business revelation. I just read this book." It's a business conversation in a business environment. You wouldn't take your kids into a business networking event. And if you did, you wouldn't expect people to engage with those kids and have the dog run off and chase a ball and the whole farrar be about the kids. It would be completely inappropriate. Do you see what I mean? So these two environments are completely different. And Facebook is Disneyland. It's a social environment for families. You have no idea what they're there for, no idea what their objective is. You have no idea if they're on the clock, off the clock, where they work in an organization or don't work in an organization. And you could be like, it could be the equivalent of knocking on their front door at 9 p.m. at night. It's rude. It's just not. That's why it's so much harder. But when people show up in groups on Facebook, you start to get a bit of context. You get a bit more permission. You know where the boundaries are of what you can start to talk about.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, it's all business. So that's why it's really become what it's become, because we all know what we're there for. We know what the boundaries are. We know what the context is.
This is true. Yeah. That's absolutely right. This is someone, and it's kind of even as a podcaster, even on LinkedIn, I still receive the message from podcast promoters and all that. But like you said, it's a business. They're promoting a business and stuff, and I understand that. So yeah, I really get that part of it. So how can someone? How can I put it? How do you approach LinkedIn different from traditional social marketing? And it's like, especially someone who's green, doesn't know anything, they're just coming out. How does someone like that get to any kind of success on it?
Well, the first thing on LinkedIn is you do want to work on your profile. You do want to make sure that things I've said, you're getting those things in place.
Yeah, of course.
Right. And it is of evolution, which is great because you're not having to pay somebody else to build your website and come up with fonts and colors, right? It is just fill the sections in, and you can change them and tweak them whenever you want to.
Yeah.
So take the things I've said already. The next thing is that before you start really concentrating on a content strategy, you need to make sure you're connected to enough people that enough people will see it. So when people come to me and say, "Oh, I've been posting 3 times a week," and I see that they've only got 250 connections, I'm like, well, you might as well just stop. I mean, who's seeing this? Then I would say just rehash stuff if you've got it. Try not to put too much time into it, but get the number of connections up. A great way to do that is to attend actual live networking events and meet people there. And then also just reach out to people that look interesting, look like your ideal market. You can use some AI tools to automate the selection of people and actually the connection of it. Just be careful on that LinkedIn's not going to penalize you for it. Some things can get picked up. And so you just start connecting, getting those connections up as quickly as possible, up into the thousands.
Up into the 1,000. Okay, I'm working on that.
Yeah. To get that up into 1,000, there are tools to help you, but try to make sure that every connection is a genuine connection and that you're actually working it. So also remember that you are there to run a business. You are there to make money. So every person that you connect with is a prospect. Are they interested in what you're offering? Is your message resonating? That's a good test. And offering people that diagnosis call. When you do that diagnosis call, you've got every single chance of winning a client. Brilliant. That's what we're there for. You can start winning clients on 200, 400 people that you're connected with. Because remember, it's not about content, it's in followers. It's about getting people into this diagnostic call, right?
Okay.
So the more people you're getting into the diagnostic call, the better. You don't need thousands for that. So every single person you connect with, try them out. See if they want to come on this call. Make sure your message isn't salesy. Make sure you're building rapport first. Make sure you're building in the value. And don't go on and on like conversation back and forth constantly. Don't be like, this is my only objective. But when it feels natural, go, hey, look, I offer this call and I think it could be really beneficial to you. Would you like to? So you can build up your number of followers and you can build up your number of sales appointments by offering a diagnostic. Then, because you're talking to say, it does work out around, for the businesses, the way I structure them, you need 2 new sales a month. So you really need 10 sales appointments per month, right? So if you're speaking to 10 people a month, 8 of them say no to you and 2 of them say yes, that's cool. Because the 8 that say no, and the 2 actually, what they're doing is you are learning from them about their problem. You're learning from them the language that they use. You're learning from them how it shows up in their life, how the obstacles that get in the way to solving it, how they want it to be solved. So all of that is vital feedback for building out your packages and building out your messaging. And it's mega inspiration for content as well. And if you start making content based on what people have talked to you about in those sessions, that's what they're talking about. That's what they want to read, right? So now you're having your sales conversation, you're building conversation, your connections up, you're having conversations with your ideal prospects, you're getting your 2 clients a month, and now you're starting to put out content that people are interested in. So now it starts to snowball. You keep on connecting with new people. They keep seeing your content because the first 2 weeks after you've connected with someone, they're the ones most likely to see your content. They comment on it and it goes out further and it goes out further. What you're trying to do with your content is be a thought leader. Lead the way with the conversation. Be consistent with what your topic is. Don't go off topic, going here, here, and here, because people have very short-term memories and they pigeonhole you very quickly. So if they see you talking about a particular subject, oh, he's changed business. That's what his subject is now. Oh, hang on, he does this now. Hang on, he does this now. What does this person stand for? What do they do? People have very short attention spans, so stay on topic and start building that thought leadership up. And then you can start doing stuff like we're doing today, like a podcast and different things, and getting known, speaking about your subject. And gradually your followers will increase, which is great because now more people are seeing your content. But also you should be in the habit of booking those sales appointments constantly that feed your content. So it becomes this lovely cycle. And it's not about big numbers. It's about sales. It's about actually winning clients. And if you're doing those conversations and you're doing them right, which is something I teach people as well, then you should be learning exactly what your clients need, exactly what they want, exactly how they want the problem solved, and building out a package which is repeatable, because that's the best way to solve it. You are the expert at this. And you're like, well, actually, the best thing to do to solve your problem is I take you through a 5-step process. This is how I do it. And this is how much I charged you for it. Do you want it? Yes or no? Okay, cool. So it all kind of fits together ultimately.
Okay. All right. Oh man, this is time flies when you're really having a good conversation. But it's been great having you on the show. Now it's part of the show where you get to actually plug away and let everybody know where they can find you, how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, sure. So I have a book called Magnetize Your Expertise on LinkedIn. This goes through the complete theory and principles of everything that I've just been talking about, so you can read it all together. I also have another book called Grassroots to Green Shoots, which is a book I wrote in 2010. when I actually lost my coaching business and ended up sleeping on the sofa eating baked beans every day because I had no money and couldn't actually travel anywhere or do anything because I had no money. And it's includes a 30-day rescue plan for anybody in that position, and it's got 6 fundamental principles to help early stage business owners prepare the ground for steady growth. It's a very honest, very brutal conversation. I read it sometimes and go, wow, that's sharp. I wrote it in 2010, so it was 14 years ago. But it's got some really practical advice in there. So if you're interested in those books, they are on Amazon. I can be found on LinkedIn. Just put in Naomi Rose Everly and I will come up. And you're welcome to connect with me on there. You'll also see under my name, there's a scorecard where you can come and answer 18 questions. And that will tell you how well your business is structured and your strategies in place to actually be getting the results that you're actually looking for as a key person of influence, as a thought leader. So come along, take those questions, fill it in, and it will give you a personalized report with suggestions on how to improve. And it will also tell you the pages within my book that is good for you to read in order to get better at those things as well. And at the moment, not forever, but it is actually sitting there as a free download. So if you want the digital copy, you can get the free download by just coming into my profile, by looking up Naomi Rose Everly. You'll see under my name the scorecard, take the scorecard and get the advice and read the pages it says or read the whole thing. And then you can also book in with me to have a LinkedIn profile and strategy review, which is, LinkedIn profile and strategy review, which is a 45-minute diagnosis call on Zoom, where I will look at your profile, learn all about you, learn what you're trying to achieve, and give you that really precise feedback that you need in order to move forward. So you can also come to www.theprofile.company. And on there, you can find lots of tuition under the LinkedIn blog as well. So, yeah, best place to find me is on LinkedIn.
Thank you once again for being a guest. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I'm just in the last year or so been really working on building my LinkedIn profile, and actually I've challenged myself to post 3 times a day content, 3 times a day on
a day on LinkedIn.
Well, this is just me on not just LinkedIn, just no. I post I post 3 clips a day on 5 different platforms. One at 7:45, one at 11:45, and one at 2:45. I've got it scheduled out, and it's actually doing pretty well. My impressions have gone up on LinkedIn. My views on other platforms have gone up as well. This is just me challenging myself to just do something different. Like I just wanted to just challenge myself, and it's been doing pretty well. So
that's great. Yeah, that's great. No, I interrupted then just because LinkedIn is 3 to 4 times a week anymore, and it won't do so well.
Oh, so maybe I should get down on
that.
Okay.
Yeah, other platforms are more, but LinkedIn optimal is 3 to 4 on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and if you want to do 4, then a Monday is good. That's the latest.
I didn't know that. Now I know.
The latest research out last week by a guy called Richard Vanderbloom. He has a wonderful report he brings out, I think, twice a year, I think it is. And they look at lots and lots of different posts. They check all the algorithms and figure out what's going on. Yeah, and the best 3 days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Monday would be your 4th if you wanted to put a 4th one in.
Oh, now I know. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do then. I'm moving my LinkedIn on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. One video each day. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I have the program that I use actually to post them. You can schedule whatever platforms you want, what time, whatever. So if LinkedIn is just one time, that's great. That's fine.
It's less work.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no benefit in doing it more. It might even penalize it, actually. But yeah.
But thank you very much. I really do greatly appreciate you being a guest. But don't leave just yet. Let me close out the show. We can talk a little bit about when I'm gonna release on the audio. So, hey Tony, how's it going? Oh man, I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. But yes. So let me just close out the show right quick. Thank you for being such a great guest. Actually, I've learned a lot, and even in this now I know about posting. That's awesome. Thank you. All right, another great show. Big shout out to everybody who tuned in. Big shout out to everybody who's going to tune in later. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't. Just shout out to everybody out there. Shout out for Tony for stopping by. Appreciate it. And as always, you know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.